Can you hear Atlas?
No, I cannot. Nope.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Double check your mic settings, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, trying that again.
There we go. There we go. We can hear him now.
Hey,
You're alive.
at your weekly Vanguard broadcast, totally on the up and up. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And it's fucking hot.
Yeah, it's
I
summer.
wish it was hotter here.
How
like-
hot is it?
Not very. It's like sunny out, but it's still windy.
Oh, well, lucky you, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
kind of the weather I like.
It's oh my god. It's like that. This is more of a thing if you live in for LA. If you live in like the eastern parts of LA or just the valley,
Mm-hmm.
where it's stagnant. Like, yes, it's sunny and it's dry, and everyone's like, it's a dry heat. It's more manageable. That's fine, but there's no like air movement. It's just still. So you're just like swamp ass, like immediately. Yes, it evaporates quickly, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you're near a swamp, I'm guessing, yeah?
A swamp?
Well,
Not
you're in
really.
Virginia, isn't that like?
I don't know. I don't know of any swamp nearby. Unless you're counting DC, is that what you're saying?
Hmm. It was built on a swamp. I don't know where they do that with state capitals.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what's up, fellas?
Not a lot. Around and stuff.
I feel like all my plans this week are getting fucked up by USPS.
Average.
Yeah, so on the post I was like, the case is here. The set is here. Our case is not. Gah. So sorry.
We got an
guys.
ETA on that?
Tomorrow, probably.
Okay. That's unfortunate, because that means I won't get it in time to play it on Sunday.
Yeah, it means I did it, and like, you know, even if you overnight it, then no post on Sundays. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
rep.
Despair.
Very
Katie's
unfortunate.
got COVID, so doing the fun, like, here's your food, and then
That's
sleeping here in the
not
office. Mhm.
Not ideal.
We know exactly where it came from, too. She went to Tennessee last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the. That's how you know that it's COVID.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm going to put Shadowverse on the background since there's nothing else going on.
True. It's better
Yeah.
than me putting Uma Musume there.
That's true. That's not to say we'll be doing all Shadowverse again. I wanted to do some deck profiles.
Yeah. Oh,
I've
have to
been-
download an update.
Yeah, I've been testing Magnolia literally since we got the reveals with like shitty proxies.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid. It's like jank playable. I heart jank, so I'm gonna play it anyway. But I don't see it like, oh, it's gonna immediately start beating Bov. No, it's just fine.
Where your Topaz? Got it.
Welstra, on the other hand, which I'm also getting in this set,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. Because Welstra has, like you still see it top now and again, and the new tools give it consistency, which it always needed. So,
I'm going to take a risk and get back.
quite excited to be Welstra-ing people. As I eat my spicy chicken sandwich.
This hand is not amazing.
Oh, let me peek. Oh, no wonder. Well, good luck.
So, I'm out of time with
Mhm.
the district. I have not found a school in time.
That's
Damn.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I went to okay, so like picking up from last week where they were like, "Hey, things didn't expire. Okay, have a good weekend." So I went to the district, like in person, where they're like, "You can't do that. You have to nope, just go down there in person and be like." I basically Karen'd my way upstairs. What ended up happening was, yes, there was a clerical error. and I should have had a intern credential, and they gave it to me, and then it expires on June 30th anyway because it's a 2-year long credential.
Dear Lord.
So I'm just back where I started. And I'm like, what happens if I become separated? And they go, well, you can still like work for us eventually. You would be applying from the outside like you did when you got your job in the first place. But
fuck.
But like that's so insane.
It is. I'll complain more at the end, but so what I'm doing in the meantime is I'm onboarding as a sub on Monday, both to keep myself like within the system and like keep my health insurance and all that stuff. But also because it means I will have contact with schools throughout the year.
Right.
And like that might be an inroad later. But as of right now, like in regards to like finishing up my internship, it's just kind of frozen in a bubble right now until I find a new school site, which is very annoying and very millennial coded, where they're like, if you do this, we'll do this for you. Oh, you did all that stuff? Nah, it's just not going to happen. So do this instead. So that's where I'm at. But I have 2 years of experience with teaching, and I'll still be teaching, just substitute teaching.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's rough.
That's some horse shit.
Yeah, but at least it's better than like, okay, you're separated by like,
right.
Yeah. At least they're giving you something to work with.
Yeah. And then some are saying that, in like mid-July, the principals come back from their vacations usually. And sometimes teachers are like, wow, I really enjoyed my summer vacation. I'm just going to retire. So there might be a chance I find something, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
God for Geno.
Say that again?
Nothing.
No. Sounded like you said dogs for Geno. I said, what the fuck is that?
I don't need to waste the point. Okay, if they don't put up a ward, I win.
Matt, I don't know if you've ever had this problem. Do you live alone?
No.
No? Okay.
I no longer win.
Okay, when Katie is at work, I realize that I will go like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours without talking to someone.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finally do talk, I sound like a monster.
Oh, well.
Does that ever happen to you?
You do win, in fact.
No, because this restores 2 defense.
No, you don't kill it. You just 1 play point, Albert, and then plus 1 play point, Albert. Oh,
yeah,
right.
Nice.
No, just. Oh, fuck.
I do not win here.
Damn, that's so cringe. Well, that's unlucky.
Root beer losing on stream. Sad.
What's funny is he's really close. If it didn't actually deal damage to enemy followers, he would win. But since it does, he loses.
Yeah. I think it has to be Geno again, and just hope they don't have a second Cerberus.
All right, gets barrier.
Well, I'll take that as a no then.
What?
Yeah. I've just been playing Uma Musume the past few days. That game is cool. Finally, horse racing.
Again, too many things going on with me for me to play new mobile games. Also, I started playing Warframe again, so that's another drain on my time.
You fucking fool. Why is everyone playing Warframe again all of a sudden? What happened?
I don't know, but oh right, because Olivia also healed. Fuck me, dude. I don't know.
So what's the total of like mobile games that you play now?
There's like 2 that I play regularly. I don't really count this because I can play it on PC, so I don't really. So it's basically 2.
Most mobile games are ass though. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they're like trying to keep you there as long as possible for them sweet ad dollars. So, speaking of which, patreon.com/Nexus at Night.
1 damage off. Or you...
Woo!
Nope, you win now.
Did they just give me the
Yeah,
game?
they just gave you the game. You Albert.
All right, thank you.
Albert, Super Evolve.
Yeah, and then just
face.
Yep. I just thank you.
Do that.
Oh, this is so good, man.
For its life.
Look, sometimes people just punt.
Yeah.
People don't actually think about their win con.
Yeah. More like they didn't think about how they lose.
Yeah.
I watched that MBT video.
Ruby.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the groups like MMR,
Mm-hmm.
so like Ruby is like the mid MMR.
Yeah. I've gotten to Ruby a few times and then it just immediately fall back out of it.
Yeah, that'd be like that.
Are
When
they
you get to
still
Ruby,
making
you start playing against so much like Dragon and
Portal.
Portal, yeah, the Artifact Orcus Portal, like the mixture Portal that it's like the Artifact deck but plays Orcus at the top. Because Orcus is absolutely crazy.
I think I just keep this hand
with all the new support, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Crazy to think as Youth Burke has so many colors, we could create a pride flag. Please do. That sounds really funny.
Yeah, you only have a couple days left.
Yeah.
That's true. Then they're going to go back
Youth
to
Burke
beige
full
capitalism
pride.
instead of rainbow capitalism. I saw that MBT video where they were using like deck profiles from like 2007 or whatever, and then played against each other. That looked really fun. Yeah. I remember talking to people like that where they're like, "Here's my Yu-Gi-Oh deck."
Once you get a new laptop, we should do that for Vanguard.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. Richard, this is like a maybe. Apparently, just has a PC tower that he's trying to get rid of. So I'm like, maybe buy a monitor for cheaper, and then
that's something.
You know, I can.
That
would kind of. I forgot the actual numbers he quoted me, but it seemed pretty standard.
Okay.
It was just like free computer. It seemed. I was actually about to text him about it now and be like, so ...
Yeah, because the laptop I sent you a while back was only on sale for a little bit, so it's back to like 700.
Yeah, I had to wait until my next paycheck to even think about it. So, which is in a few days. But
do I just go Quick Blader and then 1/1 Iron Crown? I feel like I just want to go face. This is 4 damage. You know,
then they're going to play maybe somebody in our Discord is. By the way, donate $1, patreon.com/Nexus at Night. Join our Discord. Lots of fun stuff.
The Patreon that we never update.
I mean, it kind of just became the like, you're helping us do the thing.
Yeah.
Yay. Which is fine.
Are they gonna Evo and make a striker? Yep. The striker was a 3-1. 5-1. Oh, at least something dies. I'll get my knight back.
Lately, my nephews have been doing this thing where they'll be like 6, 7, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
God, if the UI fucked me there and I evoed something that wasn't the Lumen.
This game moves so fast; it's hard to keep up with everything.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, I mean, it's just the animations are pretty quick.
No, it's just like I summon a guy that summons a bunch of more guys. Like that's this deck.
Oh,
I feel like that trade wasn't great. My hand is fucking terrible. They're just gonna summon the guy that wipes my board. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one sucks because
Don't even bother killing those.
no, I'm just gonna summon the ding dong and pass. Oh, that sucks. This hand is not good.
I have an interesting story, but I don't think I should tell it on stream because it's wildly inappropriate.
Can you give stream the TLDR?
The TLDR was I had to go to the doctor to do a test that involved myself,
Yeah.
me doing the thing, and then giving them the thing to run the test on. And it was very funny where instead of like go into the room and the doctor does the stuff, or it's like just go over there in the broom closet.
Well,
we'll see in a few minutes. You perv.
this deals with it.
It does.
Yeah. Do I just want to evolve Ding Dong?
Maybe.
Is that actually the name? Oh my
No,
god!
she
No,
just
it's
goes
Bell
ding-
Ringer Angel.
Oh, it's like shorthand.
She just goes Ding Dong every time you play her.
Yeah, but she goes ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
I think
that's what she did in the old game as well. But in the old game, they let the voice lines like run over each other. So, like,
I remember
it,
Hi, Orcus.
Yeah.
I'm about to get fucked. At least he
Orcus
has
is
Shroud.
broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna take
Seems to be a pattern.
8 damage here.
Yeah. Ow.
And the puppets should die at the end of his turn.
No.
You can't target anything but
Yeah, so I can't.
that.
Okay, so it's always Amelia. Gives me 2 points. Zirconia is nice. I need a. I don't think I have a way to. So it's you for sure. I guess I just run out a full board and hope Amelia's barrier saves me.
I mean, it will, because like you'll be able to kill the idiot with her. She
Yeah.
won't take damage, so she won't get baned.
And
And then you can bane the 8-8.
And then,
And then those don't need to die, right?
yeah. I just go in with Vals and then turn in. Alright, that outed the board. Now
Now
if
she's
they
gonna
just-
play another Orcus.
Yeah, and then I die immediately. Actually, no, the
Not
second-
immediately, but if she does play another Orcus,
They don't have another Orcus.
oh well.
Thank God. Now, actually, if they put up a ward, I just clear my own board and Albert.
Oh, they've already used the extra play point. That's good.
Yeah.
I guess they used on Orcus last turn.
Yeah.
But then that means they're 2 turns off from the big idiot. Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
gonna wipe your board. Actually, this doesn't kill Amelia.
Nope.
They need to evolve to kill Amelia here.
Albert just wins.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she's got to run face first to Amelia. They take 6.
Yep.
And
And then Albert
super
win.
evolve. GG. Nice game. Thanks.
Mhm.
$12 damage, your face. Albert sure is.
Yeah, he is the guy of all time. Didn't think I was going to get away with that one.
I don't know. They had another Orcus that looked rough, but once they didn't play a second Orcus, the game was over, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, even if they did play a second Orcus, I don't know if they wiped my board there.
They kill 4 things.
Yeah.
But I think even then, like they have to attack in such a way where the big puppet doesn't die to Albert's incoming.
Yeah.
Because if he takes 3 damage, then the incoming of Albert kills him, and they take 12 anyway.
Yeah. Alright. I still haven't gotten the 4th treasure chest yet.
Yeah, that's because it's right here.
Let's see.
Oh God, have you played against Forest yet?
Yes.
Oh.
The 4... Like, all my forest games are either they surrender turn 5, or I get killed by the roach.
The Roach is certainly one of the. This hand.
Wow,
blows.
this hand is not happening.
Like the average cost of your hand is like 5. That's pretty good.
Oh, thank God. This hand is much better.
That's a lot of luminous
Relative.
land troopers.
Yeah. All right, now they just run out a bunch of fairies and kill my board.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, no, they can't.
Okay. They
Next
didn't make any fairies turn 1, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. They probably didn't have anything then. Alright, goodbye. That's 2 damage to the face. Next turn, a bunch of fairies are gonna... God. I was also playing Fairy Forest for a little bit. Now I just have the AA stuck in my head.
I put my mag list together and I realized I didn't do Welstra, so this is a wonderful time
This
saver.
is great filler.
Great filler. We're having big fun.
I have to start punching my board eventually.
I mean, they have fairies, so they can clear off a bunch of stuff, like the 2-1, the 1-1. Oh, shit, they have Lily, too.
Yeah.
Well, lilying here is kind of bad.
Yeah. Alright.
Like, it feels extra bad to have to Lily here.
I think Iron Crown is probably just summoning knights. You die. You go down to 1. Punch, punch. I mean, see, the problem is now my hand is like 2 Amalias, which is not ideal.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's fine. You can deal with any big idiot. Oh, they're playing Godwood Staff here? You can only play 1 fairy? Kill your 2-1?
Yeah. And then draw a card. Coachwoman's not bad. I think I'll run out Coachwoman. I feel like I want to save the second Luminous in case they wipe my board.
Fair.
Probably just Evo the Knight and go in. Maybe I should have Evo'd the first Luminous. Has more health, whatever.
God, the early product cards were so terrible. Good lord.
For what?
For what?
The early product set orders for Welstra were just garbage.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if you did not operate this turn, retire something, or if you didn't retire, draw and then just let him retire. What's the problem?
Okay,
Jesus.
they are Evoing to clear my.
Yep.
Let's see.
Okay, I think it's coming together.
I feel like I want to save the extra play point. So how do I do this? Because if I go filled out, I can just Evo clear this, but if I go Luminous Iron Crown, like that also clears this, but I'd have to sacrifice more of my board.
Right.
I like filled out Ice Crown personally, but I could be wrong. Or Iron Crown. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably worth just.
This is tight. Good lord. Did not realize how tight
Then
this is.
next turn, if they clear my board again, I'm just gonna play point, drop Amalia.
Mm-hmm. They kind of have to clear it because otherwise you're threatening lethal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that does deal with the board.
Yep.
Well, not entirely. Is it worth running my guys in and then Amaliaing so I can get all 4 steel clads?
And then you don't even need to evolve here if you do that, right?
I think so. Then Amalia. That takes out 2 of my knights, but that's fine.
I mean, you would lose 2 anyway.
Yeah.
And you have 2 wards up, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So now, Arya doesn't do enough. I really hope they just can't do the roach math.
I mean, they can't roach you here anyway.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely shocking if they roached you here.
Yeah. Oh, this clears the board.
Well, yeah. No. It does if they let it die, because it's very likely to not kill Amalia. Oh, it did kill Amalia. That's tragic. Yeah, I mean, we knew they had fairies, so it's okay.
After this game deck
Albert right now,
profiles?
I don't have...
Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
I can go Leah into Amelia into Luminous. Let's just see what Amelia gets me first.
Yeah.
And that Geno has been really nice.
Would have been.
So I think I want to put up a ward regardless.
We just play it all out, right?
Yeah. I don't think Fairy has removal that doesn't involve damage. Boom. You're going to lose your barrier, but that's fine. All right. They got to deal with my board.
It's a pain in the ass even to remove the little guys.
Yeah.
Requires 3 fairies to clear the fucking 1/2.
And they got to get rid of Ding Dong.
Yeah, I mean the ding dong won't be a problem. But what's annoying about ding dong against fairies is that you really want the fairies to die, but they don't actually fucking die into Bellringer.
Yeah.
So like he can attack yeah, so he has to evolve Lily here because no other way to
get rid of,
like, otherwise you're just like running fairy into it and the fairy's just stuck on board, which sucks.
yeah. Do they have because their damage guys don't do anything.
I think Lily run Bellringer down here is correct, but we'll see.
Probably.
Even though it feels like a waste, but like the damage number here is important. All that matters is the well, that fairy's not dying anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty good draw. That doesn't do enough. That does do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Draw Albert. It's that simple. Oh, okay. Well,
so Geno clears the board. I can't Zirconia for lethal anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's Geno clear the board.
Easily.
Yeah. And then they have Rush, so I can...
Yep, you get to clear the fairy for free. You don't need to spend your Evo, because you want to save your Evo.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're kind of in the danger territory.
Yeah. They're running out a lot of fairies.
Yeah. Of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy. Well, that's a 2/2 right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to return it to their hand.
Mm-hmm. Please hit Luminous. Thank you.
So now it's going to be a 4/4/2.
Yeah.
Go
And then
face.
Yeah. No, not to face.
Oh, okay. Well,
Can they get rid of Geno? Because Geno just wins me the game next turn. Why didn't they? What?
so they lose.
Yeah.
Super Evo.
Well, I don't even have to Super Evo the Geno. He just swings face twice.
Oh yeah.
I could have also just summoned the Albert for extra BM, but
I like how if you don't kill Zeno, even if you're at 20, he just ends the game.
yeah.
Well, that's pretty rough.
You got your chest. 100 vials. Let's fucking
baby.
go.
How many vials do I have?
Good
now?
old swordcraft. Nothing beats that.
What was I gonna say?
Not enough.
So when you take Dayquil or NyQuil, do you prefer the liquid or the pills?
I usually just take the liquid.
Yeah, it's like for that stuff, it's generally the liquid, but sometimes I take the pills depending on the situation. Like sometimes the pills are just more convenient.
I hate the taste of the liquid so much. I always go with the pills, but
That's insane. The pills are like kind of large, I think, for like pills.
they are.
It's like
They're like
really
comically large. It's like the
I'm like, why are they
the
like
SpongeBob, where he's got to take
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs just to take the pill.
I'm just like so I don't like I would rather do the liquid just because like the liquid's like I don't have to worry about swallowing like the huge ass pills that they have for NyQuil or Dayquil for some unknown reason.
Yeah, but then it tastes like some kind of sleeping potion, which it kind of is.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm also weird. You know that medicinal cherry flavor? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like that
Pop
flavor.
drops.
Yeah, I like that
Okay,
flavor.
interesting.
Yeah. So
Why?
I'm not really bothered by the medicinal flavoring.
I feel like it doesn't linger long enough for me to care about it enough.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't really mind that kind of stuff. But the pills are really annoying to me because they're like uncommonly large.
Try swapping these out.
I think because I'm so used to swallowing my seizure medication, like handfuls at a time, because it's 2 different pills. Like it's just, I'm so used to that by now that like NyQuil is child's play for me.
I see. Well, I guess you're built different.
Yeah.
All right. So,
you're
profiles review, or did you want to?
No. Yeah, if you're done with your deck profiles, I can stop.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And while you do that, I'll do the one deck profile I feel comfortable doing, and then I think we'll call it a night early because our plans kind of got messed up by not getting the case.
Oh, you're supposed to get the case today, and it like died.
Yes. Well, because it was
we were hoping we got the case today. You know,
Yeah.
it's the kind of thing where it's like, who knows? I have found when it gets shipped from 50 cards, it arrives on like Wednesday.
Got you.
And yet, here we are.
No, like Wednesday the week after.
Yes, then that fits. So, I guess I'll start with Welstra. I think because I'm less confident with Welstra. So, for editing purposes, bam. This is my Welstra deck profile. Welstra is a deck that I picked up specifically because I didn't know when to pop the Divine Skill on like anything I played, and Welstra is very cut and dry. I'm like, when do you do it? When you ride the first time. Pretty simple. But I found myself liking it a lot. So getting into the deck, your ride line stays the same. And in the deck, your Freiheit continues to be the thing that the deck revolves around. This is the guy that you need to kind of do everything you want to do. And if you don't have him, it's not as good. That said, the tools that Welstra got in the deck include this dude, Bowen. So grade 2 and placed on rear. If you have a Blitz Vanguard, so that includes your grade 2 of the ride line. And your order zone does not have a grade 2 product, put a card from your hand into soul, search your deck for 1 grade 2 product, put into hand and shuffle, and then also if your order zone is 2 or more products, he gets plus 5 shield. Now, what you want to be doing on turn 2 is using Uber's effect to operate a product. If you do not have a product to operate, it gets real awkward real fast. Your grade 1 searches a product with the same grade of your opponent's Vanguard. So if you go first, it means you're searching a 1. If you go second, great, you can search a 2. But what Bowen is used for is to search Lubetzal. And Lubetzal is very important for your mid-game and early game, where now you have basically like I just have extra copies of Lubetzal, basically. Which means I don't run as many copies anymore. Before it's a 4 of, now it's a 2 of. I don't know if it's going to stay that way, but I think basically like how many copies of Bowen do I want to run? If I want to run less, that means I would up the number of Lubetzal copies. Because I hated running Troll, which was the blue-haired lady that like you have to counterblast to operate something, and most of the things so it was like a counterblast 2 for Frymax, which is like I don't want to do that. And you can't do the laser, and operating Lubetzal, great, I got a draw in the battle phase for a counterblast 1. Huzzah. The blonde lady also wasn't great either because she was like sapping your soul to do stuff. And it was like, oh, when you operate something, you can, counterblast to draw 1. Great. Same fucking problem as Troll. So I think I would prefer Bowen A because it means you can get more soul in the early game, and B, it just has the consistency of setting up Lubetzal. So pretty cool new tool we got. Next up of like new things that are important. This guy, Blitz Security Varnished. Now, when he's placed on rear, if you have a Blitz Vanguard, choose a set order from drop and either put it on bottom of deck or into soul. Which means that you can, mostly because you put the doghouse that you search into soul when you discard it for something. Not always, but most of the time. And then this can just kind of recycle that. It's more ways to get soul to use Fry's ability to operate products. So, good job. And then the other effect is when your Vanguard with Welstra with the Divine Skill attacks, you can Soul Blast and retire him and operate a product. So we now have a product operate, much like Fry, that is tied to a Soul Blast. At the cost of losing him instead. I like this guy a lot. I need to test him more before I can really get a handle on, like, is this, a 3 of? Do I want to max him out? Is he a 2 of? I'm not sure. So far, he looks promising.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of, like, again, bridges the gap for Welstra between, like, they have a really good win con, and the consistency leading up to that is very spotty. And I think this and Bowen help bridge that gap. In regards to everything else, the deck is more or less the same. You keep the Elfears Lady, you keep Dogman, which, by the way, like, this now with, what's his face? With Varnest in the deck that pushes out Bulbul Mine for good, this is now your countercharge engine. Which can be a problem, because if you, like, damage them all, no countercharge for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means that cards like Varnest now pull their weight more, because now your operates are not tied to a counterblast.
Yeah.
So with Varnest and Welstra being 2 operates per battle phase, along with Fry, of course, it means that you can kind of experiment a little more. And of course I'm going to do that. But this is the deck as it is now. Now, for people who are going like, but what about the rest of the cards? What they do? You know what the cards do by now. I'll put the deck log code. Here it is here. But I'll put it in the description if you want to go look at it for yourself. So leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Okay. Now,
on to the Magnolia deck profile.
Oh, my Wolfie boy, it's time, baby. I heard rumors that the original Magnolia was a girl, which means that Magnolia Patriarch, meaning father, is a trans icon. Happy Pride, everybody. We'll try and put this up before June ends. So Magnolia had this problem where the Magnolia you wanted to be on was in the main deck. So you were just like trying to find it in order to do your game plan. 6 attacks is pretty strong. And it also has like a rogues gallery of different Sylvanhorn beasts that you're supposed to use with it, which means the deck is very flexible in deck building, which is nice. So into the deck profile, I quit using the Rancor chain because you really want to make sure you get Sylvanhorn beasts in your drop, because I'll get to Magnolia in a second, where this is like check top 3, you can call something grade 2 or less and then ditch the rest. If not, you put them on bottom. So it's nice to go check top 3, I get a Sylvanhorn beast, and there's like a PG and a heal. I'll put that on bottom. I would rather just not get the plus, if that's the deal. But otherwise, where it's like I got the apple and like 2 other guys, then hell yeah, I'm gonna call the apple and ditch the rest. The grade 2, where when written upon, you can Soul Blast to get a grade 3 Magnolia or grade 3 or greater card. Sorry, any grade 3 or greater card or a normal order back to your hand. This means you have to be smart. If you drew a Persona Ride, ditch it for Ride Line and then immediately get it back.
Yeah.
It's nice. And then finally, the boy himself. Actual boy, because patriarch. So, when placed on Van, choose up to one Sylvanhorn Beast in its drop and call it to rear. This now makes the deck all about Sylvanhorn Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with its own set of challenges, but I think for the most part, doing this is not a big deal because there's so many goddamn Sylvanhorn Beasts where it's like, okay, cool. It's fine. I think if this came out like at the beginning of, Overdress, I would be a little more miffed about it, but I'm happy. There's enough Sylvanhorn Beast to justify that first effect's existence without me being like, but I'm missing out on, whatever other Stoicheia thing. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your rear guards can intercept from the back row and get plus 5,000. If you Persona Road, he gets drive plus 1. This is also active on the opponent's turn, which is great. This is awesome. Nothing to complain about that. And then Act, choose Counterblast 1, choose up to the same number of your rear guards as the grade of your opponent's Vanguard, and they get this unit can attack from the back row at end of turn. So instead of the back row attacking being like a continuous effect, like it was for the grade 4 and for Dragon Tree, Mask, Magnolia, this is kind of back to the original where it is based on paying a cost for the back row attacking, and this is fine. Like they kind of balance it by going, okay, if you're going first, you only get two in the back can swing, which is fine. Not, and even then, like most of the time, I'm not always trying to go full hog. Everybody swing in the back anyway, like that early. So I think this was a very well designed card, which is good. Next up, Voldiar. So on attack, if you have a grade 3 or greater Magnolia, he gets plus 5k and your opponent can't intercept.
Mm-hmm.
This has come up literally 0 times.
You just need to play against Viceruger more.
Probably. But I just love the idea of like, okay, we got to put something on it, boys. No intercepting. That'll get him. Like, okay, fine, whatever. The plus 5k is always nice. It's hitting 15 on its own, or 20 actually with Vanguard. So a little awk where it's like, okay, it's hitting 20, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. That does mean that it's hitting numbers against the opponent going first, which is cool. Oh wait, no, it isn't. Sorry, that's never mind.
So it gets to 15, and then that's.
And then at the end of your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia and your unit attacked from back row this turn, put this into Soul and draw us a card. They gave us an inlet pulse. Finally. Awesome. This is great.
People can finally totally stop playing bad cards.
That's not true.
Yes. And I mean, the fact that this is now recyclable, right? Mm-hmm. Where you can do it, blast it out, call it back, and do it again next turn. That's great. I have actually found myself sometimes overloaded with this card, where I'll like have 3 copies, and I'm like, okay, so I'll draw 3 cards at end phase, which is fine, and good. But also, like, I kind of wish I didn't have so many. Part of me wants to cut it to 3, but like, maybe not yet. Maybe later. This is one that, like, shout out to Joe at my locals if you're watching. We've argued over this. So this is Sylvanhorn Beast, Dret. In the drop, when your grade 3 or greater with Magnolia is placed, you can either call this to rear if you don't already have one on board and it gets 5k, or put this into Soul and reduce the counterblast cost by 1. Awesome. Against decks that board wipe you, ironically, Welstra came up in conversation. This means that you can kind of like, all right, I'm just going to throw the kitchen sink at my opponent. Where I'm like, okay, call 1 back. This guy calls himself back. So on and so forth, where you can like rebuild a board from nothing and go ham. What's happening, y'all? We're doing a deck profile. So I think this is cool. I had it as a one of originally, but I wasn't seeing it enough. I more like it for the counterblast cost reduction than the warm body.
Mm-hmm.
But who's gonna complain about both?
Yeah.
I kept the 2 copies of Banaspati because it
Still like calls a thing back, right?
Yep, which means you can go Vanguard, call this, call another thing, so on and so forth.
Is the counterblast a problem with it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, especially because I also kept Alpin, who you keep these large boards of grade 2s, which means this gets very big very fast. And very rarely do I have to worry about, or do I feel like doing the countercharge soul charge.
Mm-hmm.
I decided I had NPICs originally because I was like, oh, big number. And protecting myself if I can vacate the board, which is very possible. But it just ended up not really being much of an issue. I want to win. I'm not here to grind, especially because triple drive, you'll run out eventually.
Yeah.
3 Galadote. Fulfills a largely same role as Vajjar, but specifically has to go in the back because it's hitting for +10 on its own. And that means that with Vanguard's effect, that's 25, which is great. This guy's awesome. That other effect to give your Vanguard +5k comes up rarely, but it does come up. He's just a great card. So him and Vajjar, I like that they're opposite colors facing opposite directions. Very cool. Very thematic. There's Gobreg, your win con, basically. So something swings in the same column. Soul Blast, he gets 10k, and guard restrict of whatever your opponent has on board. Against decks like Youthberg, this is just a shot in the arm. Or not a shot in the arm, shot in the ass. Where just, hi, I have some ones. I'm screwed, aren't I? Yes, you are. Also, the fact that this doesn't have to be in the front or back to do his effect means that he's very flexible. Similar with Vajjar and Banaspati and Alpin, where they can be anywhere, whereas something like Galadote has to be in the back, along with things like Geonosla, Glow Nipples himself. This is really good where this one, you want this to be your first attack, because then you make it big, or Vanguard first and then this to put any triggers on it, and then you can spread the love to the rest of the board. And then of course the apple. Another way to call, which is basically, this looks like a lot of text, but it's unplay Energy Blast 3. If you have a Sylvanhorn Beast, call something. Cool. A non-counterblast way to call things, and then you can also retire him if you have a Sylvanhorn Beast Vanguard to give a 10k block power. He's fantastic. You can use him even turn 2 to rush. Here's what I'm trying out. My RC, where after he attacks, you can Energy Blast 3 and restand him, but he can't attack again, so he becomes a booster to whatever's in front of him. Limited results, but I'm not really sure yet. PG, keeping the top 5 and turning your Persona Ride to back row never stops being important. And of course, the card named after Root Beer himself. Just as a one-of. It's very fun to have it be all right, I'm swinging for 13 and 2 or more cards to guard. First. Very much puts opponents on the back foot. There's the triggers. 2 Mythiarch Habitat to dig deeper, as well as Fire Regalis, because you're discarding a lot. Right?
Yeah.
So you can just, remove it from drop, get a top 5, call something. I think the big advantage of this deck is that it is very flexible. You can very much play with ratios from anywhere. I want to run less Vajjar so I can run more Banaspati, or I want more Galadote or Alpin. Or there's stuff I didn't even include. There's this Ox thing that can attack the whole front row. I could very much see pet deckers of Magnolia just being I have my pile of Sylvanhorn Beasts for seeing where the meta goes and changing based off of that. I have a pile of Sylvanhorn beasts. So yeah, that's pretty much the profile. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see y'all next time.
Okay.
Cool.
What a Silverhorn beast you have.
I'm so excited to finally get it in person and take out my shitty proxies.
I know,
So
right?
Play
God.
for real.
I'm gonna be playing either Vice Ruger or fucking Werball Dragon this weekend because those are the things I don't expect anyone else fucking wants, and
Right.
I at least have one friend at my locals who's just gonna give me the Werball Dragons. Because he's
Your
getting a
locals
case.
seem cool.
Yeah. No, there's like plenty of guys. My local's actually really competitive, but there's plenty of guys who just like buy a bunch of shit, so there's at least like a couple of guys I can get stuff from. Anyway.
Nice. Your turn?
Yeah, I will do the one because I haven't really tested out some of my other decks yet, so I want to actually like play them. Who's fucking surprised? It's Artisaria again. All right, so my list has not significantly changed since last time. We have made one thing that is different, which is Lumi Noel, the new grade 2 that was added into the deck. So she says when she's placed on Rearguard Circle, choose a grade 3 or greater Artisaria from your hand and reveal it. If you reveal a card or you're at grade 3 with Artisaria, then you can Energy Blast 2, call a Shadow Army token to Rearguard Circle, and it cannot attack until end of turn. So you call a Shadow Army, it becomes a booster. And then when it's put on the guard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Artisaria, retire one or more up to 2 Shadow Army tokens, and it gets plus 10k shield for each one you retired. So this card does a lot for the strategy. Artisaria is a very slow deck. It's one that ramps up the longer the game goes on, so you need ways to make the game go on.
Bushra doesn't like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad for Bushra.
You know, actually, I changed the trigger ratio since last time. Oh well. Anyways, nothing else about this has changed since the last time I did a deck profile about this. So obviously, you're still running the same ride line because they all find you the sound systems. So usually, like if you're going first, you just grab a Shout and Shadow, and then you grab Rega Romania. If you're going second, it kind of depends on what you're playing against. I feel like against decks that can clear their own boards, you still probably want to grab a Mega Romania, just so your opponent will actually like do that. Although it might be worth bluffing. Like, who knows? And then, of course, we have Artisaria herself. I have the playset of Frame Rares. We're still playing 4 copies of the Pride Cycler, so that gets you the Quick Shield ticket. We're playing 2 copies of Lufer, so I'm playing this because she gets 5k extra power when you have a sound system, so she makes better numbers early on. And then the extra 5k shield does help. I found it does come up a decent amount. You know, this is not a super common inclusion in the deck, but I like it. Usually what people play instead is just 4 copies of Veilfur. So on play, you soul charge 1, then you can counterblast 1 to draw a card, and then on attack, if you have a card with the same name as your Vanguard and your soul, she gets 5k. 2 copies of Franset. You know, there is a world where you cut the Lufers for more copies of Franset because she can bounce Lumi Noel, especially if you played Lumi Noel early, but you know, she's the one that, like, on attack, if you have 3 or more different names, she gets 5k, and then 4 or more at the end of the battle, you can bounce something. We're playing 4 Yuikas, because Yuika bounces stuff back. So you can use it to bounce back the Pride Cycler, you can use it to bounce back a Lumi Noel, Veil. Basically, all of your cards benefit from being bounced back, you know, being able to protect your front row. And, like, 2 of them have on-play abilities that you can use again, and also you just kind of want Lumi Noel in your hand for the shield value. You know, same with Lufer. Lufer also has the ability when she's either retired from Rearguard Circle or returned to the hand, you can counterblast 1, draw a card. 1 copy of the Jewel Beast, because shield. I'm only playing 6 sound systems, so I'm doing a 3-3 split. You know, I'm not playing Blitz orders just because I feel like they're awkward when you have the Pride Cyclers as well, and like Sanctitude. So you have to do this weird song and dance like, okay, you gotta play the shield ticket first because it lets you play a second order for the turn. Then you would have to use your Blitz order, and then you have to hope you don't need to use the Sanctitude if you draw it. So I'm not fond of Blitz orders in the deck. I know some other lists that have topped have used Blitz orders. And then trigger lineup. I actually changed the trigger lineup since the last time I did this, so I forgot to do that here. Where this one was like 7 crit, 4 fronts. The fronts have 20k shields. Once again, you're just trying to stall the game out. I did switch to playing 5 fronts, so I went with 3 of the 20k and then 2 of the soul fronts and playing 6 crits. I forgot to change it here. Playing the lyrical OT because it gives 10k to your board. Honestly, you probably could get away with any other over trigger as well. The purple one's good. Healing is nice and helps you stall out the game. I don't think you need the blue OT necessarily. Like, it's usable, but it's not, like, amazing. The red OT could be good, especially, like, later in the game. Your Shadow Army tokens can get pretty big, so just being able to, like, swing in twice is not too bad. And then, of course, 4 heals. And then, PG, Sanctitude, yada, yada, yada.
The Bermuda, the lyrical OT is like reasonably good too, as far as everybody's in the.
It's something you want to see like early.
Yes, well, because then it puts on pressure the rest of the game.
Yeah.
See also Dark States.
Yeah, but a lot of Dark States decks just opt to drop theirs. A lot of lyrical decks also don't play the lyrical OT, to be honest.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because a lot of decks just because the decks in Dark States that already have Vanguard pressure don't need another 10k in a crit. Like, they usually just already have something like equivalent. Like,
right.
maybe Fafronio gets a crit. That's like his gimmick. Yeah, no, I can't think. Like, maybe Omida Grugio, because that's a restander, so maybe that is the deck that would appreciate the 10k in a crit all the time, because then your Vanguard pressure is stronger. But yeah, I think this might be the only deck right now where I feel like the lyrical OT is justified, just because your early numbers in this deck are really small, especially turn 3. I have frequently found myself using Artisari's effect to put a token in the back row just to get bigger numbers instead of going for 4 attacks. Especially if my opponent gets a damage trigger too. That's really annoying. But yeah, Artisaria I don't think has fundamentally changed that much. It is still a deck that aims to kill turn 6. You're just trying to control the board with Mega Romania, and then eventually you get to a point where you just keep swarming the field with tokens, and when you're at that turn 6, no cards in hand, 5 attacks that are all 40k plus is really hard to deal with.
Yes, because most decks aren't all right, my hands get bigger and bit. No, by that point, it's the it's like the trope in anime where they're all out of weapons, or all of their armor is broken, but they're just angrily attacking each other with whatever they got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I think Artisario, once you get to turn 6, probably just always wins. If the game went long enough for Artisaria to get that kill turn, then you're just probably not surviving. Especially because Artisaria also gives power to the front row, so when she attacks, she gives 5k for every 2 sound systems. So turn 6, you have 4, it's 10k to the front row. And
plus
if you still manage to Persona Ride, imagine drawing Persona Rides, then it's just okay, cool. So I just made a 50, 60k call. They come out at 30, you have 20k. Yeah, you just make a 50k column.
Oh, potatoes.
And Artisaria has a crit. The crit has never mattered. My opponents always have the PG for it.
Gotcha.
Even when I feel they shouldn't have a PG for it, they somehow have a PG for it.
Rude.
Your opponent is always completely prepared and also the biggest dummy in the universe at the same time.
Yeah.
Did the new support really help your build a lot? Or
I mean Luminel is crazy. It's early gaming. The big thing though is that it's a 25k shield.
Right.
And also there are times where I look at the tokens on my board and I'm God, I wish I could do something with these. So, trading the tokens in for the extra shield value is actually just really good. Again, it's 1 card. It doesn't completely revolutionize the deck. Honestly, I could probably use some countercharge. Frequently, because of the way Artisario wants to play, I will just try to keep myself at lower damage, just take like 1 damage at a time, but that also means I don't have as much counterblast to draw with. Alright,
Right.
that's why I play the Caliburn. Although every time I have Caliburn, I end up in a position where I just need the draw 2.
That's always frustrating when you're like, I need the soul, I need the counter charge, but I have 1 card in hand.
Yeah. Or, you know, you can brick on sound systems. I don't know how I brick on sound systems, but every now and then you brick on sound. You, like, don't find enough sound systems. I lost to Zorga because of it.
Well, then that's apparently the most humiliating thing around here is losing to Zorg, our eternal rival.
I mean, I'll keep making fun of Zorga.
Of course, it's funny. So, yeah, leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. So, anything else we wanted to add?
Nope, I got my 5th treasure chest in Shadowverse while you were doing your profiles. It was 100 rupees.
Well, wonderful.
Not even.
Remember, Uma Musume is out and ready. Not sponsored.
I wish we were sponsored.
By Uma Musume, that'd be dope.
That would be dope. Honestly, Bushiroad could sponsor us. One day.
One day. We know Outer Orange in Different Fight.
We could watch
You would
Cinderella Grey, which is airing now.
Yeah, let's see how well that goes for us. We go in and start like name dropping. They'll be like, "Oh, of course, no."
No, that show is peak. It's in peak.
That is peak. You can find us at Nexus at Night wherever social medias are found. Patreon.com/Nexus at Night. Hat trick. If you want to help support the show, $1, get access to our Discord. Everything else is just gravy by that point. Where can they find the rest of us?
On the sites at Wiggum's, 2Gs, 2Gs.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse or Beerus Root. Honestly, just find me on Nexus at Night on Twitter. I don't use my personal Twitter that much anymore. I've just turned the Nexus at Night account into my personal Twitter.
I mean, I kind of just let it happen because I was like, I'm not here anymore. Go nuts.
Who's gonna stop him?
Yeah,
exactly. You can find me at Atlas Novak on all social medias. I recently have been doing more stand-up now that it's summer. So if you're in the LA area, keep an eye out on my Instagram in particular. That's where I post like the posters for it. So I got 3 shows in July if you want to come on out. Or you can follow my other show, Generation Dan. That's a podcast every Friday. We just released an episode about what to do when the shit is going down. Have 1 helping of the apocalypse buffet before going to the next one. We stream on Sundays. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.
All right, you go to sleep.
All right.